This is the Volkswagen Beetle. Of course, identifying it as such is completely unnecessary since everyone, everywhere knows exactly what a VW Beetle looks like. Hippies, Germans, tour guides in Mexico. Virtually everyone is familiar with the original Beetle. Same thing goes for the new Beetle. When it launched in the late 1990s, the Volkswagen New Beetle was a colossal hit, helping ignite an era of retro-inspired vehicles. PT Cruiser, anyone? Over time, the car's novelty wore off, and what was left was a cute but cartoonish design exercise in the use of circles. Styling aside, the new Beetle had some notable flaws: crappy rear seating, a bizarrely long dash, and a reputation for marginal reliability come to mind. Oh, and along the way, the new Beetle became the ultimate chick car. One of the most emasculating things I've ever had to do was drive the new Beetle my wife used to own. With its cutesy garish green exterior and a big flower in the bud vase, it was the automotive equivalent of wearing a springtime dress and a hat with a big sunflower in it. And that's where the redesigned Beetle comes into play. There's an old adage in the car biz that girls will drive guy cars, but guys won't drive girl cars. VW realized this, and the result is a refreshed, manlier Bug. In pictures, or from certain angles, the latest Beetle might not look that different from the previous, but in person, the change in persona is pronounced. The new design's long hood, lowered roofline, and wide front grille create visual width, giving the car a sporting, planted look. Catch it from the right angle, and the Beetle looks like the product of a fringe-like alternate timeline where the paths of Volkswagen and Porsche never diverged. Inside, the bud vase is gone, and so is the crazy huge dash. The new car ditches the whole cute routine, instead channeling bits of the original car like this flat dash panel into a more mature motif. The change works, creating a vibe that is classic yet modern and sophisticated. Usability has also greatly improved. The back seats are still tight, but now they're livably cozy. Overall interior space has increased, and the trunk has grown to a respectable 15.4 cubic feet. Powering the base Beetle 2.5 is the now familiar 170 horsepower 2.5-liter 5-cylinder, also found in the Passat and Jetta. The car I'm driving has the optional 6-speed automatic, which shifts nice and has sport and manual modes. Interestingly, the standard transmission of the Beetle is a 5-speed manual. Not to be a snob, but a 5-speed stick shift in a modern car feels pretty goofy. I mean, even a Kia Rio comes with a 6-speed manual these days. The base engine pulls nicely once the engine revs above 4,000 RPM or so, and for some reason the 5-cylinder engine note sounds better and better the more I hear it. Then there's the Beetle Turbo, which is propelled by a 200 horsepower turbo 4-cylinder, paired with either a 6-speed manual or a 6-speed DSG twin-clutch transmission. If flat-foot acceleration in the 5-cylinder is brisk, then the Turbo 4 qualifies as unambiguously quick. Another area where the Beetle distinguishes itself is in handling. Where the old car felt soft and lethargic, the new car feels spry, doubly so in the Turbo. The Beetle lacks the frenetic handling of the Mini Cooper, but it's composed and fun to steer in a way that the old Beetle never was. Now, for efficiency's sake, here's a quick rundown of likes and dislikes. The base car comes with aluminum alloys, designed to recall the look of old-school Beetle wheels. Way better than Steely's and wheel covers if you ask me. The Beetle 2.5 features the old car's twist beam rear axle. From a technology standpoint, a twist beam is pretty low tech, but for most drivers' needs, it works fine. Move up to the Turbo, and there's a proper multi-link suspension out back. The optional sunroof rocks. It's big and should help tide us over until the inevitable Beetle convertible arrives. The Beetle's fuel economy is unimpressive, with highway numbers just shy of 30 mpg on most models. Ironically, the most efficient Beetle is the Turbo with DSG transmission, so please buy the fast one, Mother Earth will thank you. A diesel-powered Beetle goes on sale in 2012, upping highway economy to around 40 mpg. Unlike most modern engine start buttons, you have to keep holding the Beetle start button until the engine fires. The door pockets feature this stretchy material, letting owners cram into it whatever impossibly oversized beverages they want. Fun fact, doing so makes German engineers cry. What about price? The least expensive Beetle 2.5 starts around $20,600, including destination, while the Turbo checks in at a touch over $24,000. Load up a Beetle Turbo with the panoramic sunroof, navigation, leather interior, keyless entry, and a Fender audio system, and the price tops out just shy of $30,000, making the Beetle a somewhat less expensive alternative to its prime competitor, the retro-inspired Mini Cooper. Honestly, the Beetle never really appealed to me until this one came along. It looks cool, drives well, has a nice interior, and it isn't an affront to my masculinity. The only lagging detail is reliability concerns. It'll take a little while before we know if this Beetle is better sorted than the one that preceded it. But for now, one thing is for sure. As long as it's under warranty, there are fewer reasons than ever not to buy a Volkswagen Beetle.